Good afternoon and good evening. I want to welcome all our community members and thank you all for participating in our webinar today of exploring our youth engagement program, which we call YEP, and our workforce development department, and also our 2024 youth camp initiative. And so my name is Maurice Henson. I have the privilege of being our Director of Youth and Workforce Development with the Amputee Coalition. I have alongside of me our Youth Engagement Program Coordinator, Jordan Strouder, and I will let Jordan formally introduce himself here in just a minute once we kind of set the precedent for this evening's webinar. And so um, I'm Maurice Henson, again, Workforce Development and Youth Director with the Amputee Coalition. For our community members, thank you again for joining us this evening and giving us some of your time to really get to know the work that Jordan, myself, and Trinea Reed, who is our Workforce Development Manager, who will be joining us in a matter of minutes. Just want to thank you all again for taking the time to be with us this evening. I am an African-American male. Have a shaved head. I'm wearing a green sweater with an orange polo collar showing, and my background is a blue digital background supporting our Limb Loss, Limb Difference Awareness Month with the Amputee Coalition. And so I will let Jordan formally introduce himself here in just a second. For those who need closed captioning options, if you are mobile or you are on a desktop, it should be under your more options, and you should be able to select captions, and you should be able to select any languages you need, any closed captioning you need as well. Right. So this evening, again, we are going to talk about our youth engagement program and our workforce development department, and also highlight our 2024 Paddy Rossbach youth engagement program camp and give you the information for that. Again, I'm Maurice Henson, Director of Youth and Workforce Development with the Amputee Coalition. I come to the Amputee Coalition with 15 years of experience working in youth development and serving as a youth advocate, working with those within diverse and underrepresented populations. I will let Jordan formally introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Strouder. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Amputee Coalition's Youth Engagement Program. I'm currently rocking an orange polo right now, and I am an African-American male with a short fade with the limb loss and limb difference awareness background. I've been with the organization for a little over a year and a half. Some of my roles, I oversee social media, and I help outreach and find different resources for youth to utilize. I also connect with other organizations that align with our purpose of providing resources and support to youth with limb loss. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I do.
Thank you, Jordan. We also have Trinea Reed, who is our Workforce Development Manager at the Amputee Coalition. Trinea comes to us with 8 years of experience working with individuals with disabilities and those within diverse and underrepresented populations as well. Trinea is also well-versed in the higher education disability advocacy space as well. And she will be joining us here in just a few moments as she is traveling and landing now. So Jordan will start us off talking about our youth engagement program.
So our youth engagement program, also known as YEP, we represent youth from ages 10 to 17 and 18 as well for leaders in training. Our Amputee Coalition's YEP include life skills, resources, education and training, youth camp, workforce development, and mentorship. Our vision is to expand our reach to African American, Black, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Pacific Islanders, and LGBTQ youth and teens with limb loss or limb difference by developing a technology platform to share life skills and training programs, provide mentoring and a career dashboard for summer job opportunities. So Our youth engagement program emphasizes life skills. Our National Limb Loss Resource Center offers programs and publications designed to help return to an active lifestyle and function as productive members of society. And so through this, like through our youth camp, that's one of the ways to that we improve life skills because the youth are gonna have chance to be with each other post COVID. This is our youth camp is gonna be the first youth camp since COVID in Camp Aranzazu, and then we're gonna have more information about the youth camp later. We also provide life skills through mentorship, which we will also really talk about later. Also different community outreach events that we're planning for the future. And then there's also in the National Limb Loss Resource Center, there's different resources, hospitals, and different prosthesis in your local community that you can find in the National Limb Loss and Resource Center. So that's just a little bit about the different life skills that we provide.
Awesome, Jordan. Thank you. And then also another facet of our youth engagement program is our education and training. And so we seek to grow youth leaders, youth leader advocates who are advocacy volunteers who have undergone specific training within our youth engagement program to go over issues facing the limb loss and/or limb difference community, policy priorities, and skills to be effective advocates. One of the initiatives in 2024 that I'm excited to talk about is our Amputee Coalition Youth Leadership Council. We started that in 2024, and this is a council made up of youth 14 to 18 years of age that are really advocacy mindset and really want to make a impact in their communities. And so these group of youth have come together to complete an annual service project, and that annual service project is one that has to have a workforce development component to it. It can be social enterprise, entrepreneurial task. It has to have a community service component and a service, learning component to it. And some of the ideas that our youth are ideating on right now are camp specific. The camp specific is like, are there parks that can be beautified and revamped? Also, are there prosthetics that can be donated or recycled? And are there organizations that our youth can partner with to complete these prosthetic recycling events? Also, any assistive technology recycling as well, like crutches, canes, walkers, and things like that. So our youth are really geared towards advocating in their local communities. Also, some ideas that have been circulated in our group are just better accessibility in neighborhoods for sidewalks, for streets, speed limits, and things like that. And so we really are excited to see our youth 14 to 18 years of age come together and really talk about advocacy, really talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and what that really looks like in the space of disability. And so a lot more to come on the Amputee Coalition's Youth Leadership Council. The council is made up of a president-elect, a vice president, a secretary and treasurer. We are pleased that we have Divine Akinbobola, who is our president. We have Brandon Mefford, who is our president-elect. Henry Horton serves as our vice president. Giovanna Shembri serves as our secretary. And then we have Molly, Josiah, and Samantha, who serve as youth leadership council members. And so we're super excited about that education and training component within our youth engagement program. And then Jordan is also monitoring the chat. So for our community members who have any questions, please direct those to the chat, and Jordan will let me know, and we'll get those questions answered in the order that we receive them. The next area that we want to talk about in our youth engagement program is our career development. The Amputee Coalition's Workforce Development Program is designed to assist youth participants within the limb loss and/or limb difference community with transitioning back into the workforce or starting their journey into the workforce. I think this is critical just because the work that Trinea is doing as our workforce development manager with our youth workforce development program is creating a pipeline for youth 10 to 17 years old. And then when they age out at 17, they're able to go right into our adult workforce development program. And so the pipeline we're trying to create and creating is just one that is supporting youth post-secondary, in their initiatives to go to college, community college, or certificate programs, and also in our youth initiatives to enter the workforce or to re-enter the workforce. And so Trinidad does a great job of really giving our youth the skills that they need, meeting them where they're at, to be able to help them, transition back into the workforce or learn how to enter the workforce. And that covers everything from resume, cover letter development, mock interviewing, follow up after the interview. And there's a series of webinars that our youth take and a series of training that our youth get in that career development, workforce development program to be able to access our summer internship board and our summer job board for our community members. So really exciting work being done from Trinea under that career development portion of the youth engagement program. And then mentorship. The Amputee Coalition's youth mentorship program provides youth amputees with mentors who can develop an emotional bond with the mentee, have greater experience than the mentee, and can provide support, guidance, and opportunities to help youth succeed in life and meet their goals. That mentorship component is also one that we really promote our youth to make a genuine, trusted adult connection, really connecting with a mentor that can really serve as an instrumental driving force in the development of our youth. We also know that peer-to-peer mentorship component is huge. And so we really try and promote that at our youth camp. We really try and promote that in our youth virtual check-ins, which we host monthly. Also in that youth leadership council meetings that we host monthly. So really trying to promote youth connecting with other youth with lived experience, because we know that is just an impactful part of a young person's life. And so our youth engagement program, Paddy Rossbach YEP Youth Camp. Youth Camp creates a space for campers, leaders in training, and counselors to have fun, connect, and make a lifelong friendships so no one goes through their limb loss and/or limb difference journey alone. We have exciting activities, including sports, creative arts, STEAM projects that we center around our youth camp initiative. And we are excited to announce that the 2024 Paddy Rossbach YEP Youth Camp will be hosted in Rockport, Texas, at Camp Aranzazu, and it will be hosted July 15th through 19th, 2024. And camp is open for registration to youth who are 10 to 17 years of age. Our leaders in training program applications are available for individuals 18 and 19 years old. And so once you've aged out of being able to come to camp at 10 to 17, you still can be connected to camp and be a leader in training to become a camp counselor with us at camp. So we're excited to announce that. And then our camp counselor applications are available to individuals 20 years of age and older. And then all registrations for applications are going to be due. We did extend this deadline. We said April 30th, but we are going to extend that to May 15th. So I apologize for that not being updated in that slide. And then Jordan, do we have any questions coming in regard to anything we've covered up to this point in the presentation?
No questions so far.
And with that, I will turn it over to Trinea Reed, who is again our workforce development manager, so she can formally introduce herself.
Thank you, Maurice. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Trinea Reed. I am the Workforce Development Manager here at the Amputee Coalition. I am a female, African-American female with dark brown hair and clear glasses. In my background, I have the Limb Loss, Limb Difference Awareness Month Zoom background. So thank you so much again. I'm going to go over our adult and veteran as well as our youth workforce development program. And apologies for the background noise. Our workforce development program for adults and veterans. It's designed to assist adults and veterans within the limb loss and limb difference community, along with those interested within the public health workforce, with either transitioning back into the workforce or starting their journey into the workforce. As Maurice mentioned, some of the programs and services and resources we provide is assistance with resume and cover letter writing, webinars on different job-related topics, mock interview assistance, as well as assistance for employers on how to diversify their workplace. A link to our workforce development program can be found on our workforce development webpage. So that will be the first step if you're interested in applying and being part of our workforce development program. If you go to our workforce development webpage, you'll see in the first bullet point that there'll be a link to register for our workforce development program. And that link is going to be specifically for adults and veterans. So the number of workforce development webinars offered. The Workforce Development Program offers 1 to 2 workforce development program webinars per month. Over the past year, there's been 23 workforce development webinars that have been offered to adults, veteran, and youth workforce development participants. Our goal this year is to have a total of 12 workforce development webinars to be held within this year of 2024. Those 23 webinars could be found. We have those archived on the workforce development webpage. So if you scroll down, probably almost halfway through the page, you'll see workforce development webinar tab. If you click that, you can see all of our archived workforce development webinars, as well as any upcoming webinars that we may have. And there'll be a link to register for those. So some of the resources that we have within our workforce development program, as I mentioned, the main hub is our workforce development program webpage. So there, you know, you're going to have the option to register. We have a checklist on there. All of our webinars will also be on that landing page, as well as a link to schedule a one-on-one meeting with me for us to go over your career goals and how I'm able to best assist in your job search. We also have workforce development program Thrive blog articles. We usually have one about once a month, and it's on different job related topics. So, you know, it could be about resume writing. It could be a recap from our employment council meetings. So definitely take a look at those. We also have job related fact sheets. So these fact sheets are also, you know, could be related to resume building, cover letter building, a fact sheet on vocational rehabilitation. So definitely take a look at those as well. We're always updating those pretty frequently. And a big resource that we have is our job board. So our job board gives participants the option to make a profile on there, as well for employers to be able to make a profile and to see candidates on our job board platform. So as I mentioned, our job board center is a platform where employers and organizations could post job leads and internships for our adults and veterans with limb loss and limb difference. In addition, workforce development participants can search and apply for job and internship opportunities. And then we also have our, let's see, and then on our job board, we have a total of 50,362 jobs posted. And this was between when we first launched our workforce development program last year, around the April-May timeframe of 2023 until current. And currently right now we have 3,154 active jobs posted on our job board. So definitely take a look at that. A lot of good job opportunities that's open nationwide. We also have our workforce development volunteers. So community members with limb loss and limb difference that have prior work experience and or experience working with recruiting and hiring for those with disabilities. Opportunities include participating within workforce development webinars, employment council meetings, and in-person workforce development events. If you're interested in signing up to become a workforce development program volunteer, that registration can be found on AC Connect under our volunteers tab. It's definitely a great opportunity, if you're a community member, that may have worked in the past prior, or you're retired or currently working, to be able to share your experiences with other community members, our employment council, and really, assisting our department and helping to build and continue to build a robust workforce development program. And then we also have our employment council. And the mission of the Workforce Development Employment Council is to collaborate with employers, organizations, colleges, and universities to provide professional and career opportunities for adults, veterans, and youth with limb loss and limb difference. We also have a focus on DEI initiatives, ADA accommodation, inclusive workplaces, as well as strategies to increase hiring efforts for veterans and individuals with disabilities. As of current, our council consists of 19 Fortune 500 companies, nonprofit organizations, colleges and universities, as well as Amputee Coalition's Workforce Development Program volunteer. Our meetings are held once a month virtually on the second Tuesday of each month. And we also have a recap meeting on the second Wednesday of each month for employment council members who are not able to make our Tuesday meetings. So if you're an employer or organization on the call that's interested in learning more about our employment council or how to be involved, or if you want to be a member, just reach out to the workforce development department, and we'll be happy to have you on our council. Now I'm going to talk about the YEP Workforce Development Program. So YEP's Workforce Development Program is designed to assist 15 to 17-year-olds living with limb loss and limb difference with career and professional development training to start their journey into the workforce. YEP Workforce Development Program also assists with college readiness, focusing on the transition from high school to college, providing training on how to self-advocate for ADA accommodations as students with limb loss and limb difference. And this is a very important component that we have because we realize a lot of youth that we have a limb loss and limb difference between these age ranges, they may not want to transition right into the workforce. Some students might want to go into college. So preparing our students or preparing our youth who do want to go to college right after high school, we provide that training to help with that transition from high school into college and how to get connected with their disability resource centers on the campuses that they're going to. Some of the services and resources that we provide within the YEP Workforce Development Program is, again, very similar to our adult and veterans program. We have one-on-one career development meetings, resume building, mock interview assistance, workforce development webinars. We also have a job board platform specifically for youth for internships and summer job opportunities. So this is the opportunities where a youth ages 15 to 17, if they're looking for any type of internships or temporary job placement, they could go to the YEP Workforce Dashboard. In addition, we have different career and professional development opportunities. So if you see here in this picture, this is recently from the APHA conference, the American Public Health Association conference back in 2023, where we have two of our youth participants alongside me, Giovanna and Abigail, where they had the opportunity to present a poster session at the APHA conference. It was a really great experience for both youth. It really introduced them into the field of public health and wanting to look more into careers within public health post-graduation. And there's other organizations that had the opportunity to listen to both Giovanna and Abigail present. Organizations such as Grand Valley State University, in the CDC. And this opportunity here helped us to build a collaboration with CDC, where we'll be collaborating on a webinar where Giovanna and Abigail will be presenting to the CDC team. We'll also be launching in May, May 16th, our young adult support group. So our young adult support group is designed for young adults between the ages of 18 to 30. And during that support group, the goal is to connect with other young adults who understand experiences, sharing challenges and success in a safe and supportive space, as well as accessing important resources to support your journey. I'm very grateful to be moderating this young adult support group. Super grateful for the opportunity. But if you're interested in being part of the young adult support group and you're between the ages of 18 and 30, the registration link is here, but it's also on our webpage as well. And if you have any additional questions, you could also reach out to the Workforce Development Department. So some of the programming that we'll be having in person for workforce development for youth camp and national conference will consist of specifically for our youth camp. We plan on having a college readiness and ADA accommodation session with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi Disability Resource Center, as well as a resume review workshop and resources on vocational rehabilitation. At our 2024 national conference in Atlanta, we plan on having a workforce development track for adults, veterans, and youth, which will include resume review and mock interviewing sessions, career networking sessions, as well as our workforce development fireside chat, which will be a panel discussion with Fortune 500 companies, nonprofit organizations, as well as different colleges and universities within the Georgia area. And if you have any additional questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me via email. If you're a participant looking to get back into the workforce or just want to learn more about our program, please do not hesitate to send me an email.
Definitely. Thank you, Trinea. And thank you again to our community members for taking part in exploring the Youth Engagement Program, or YEP, and our Workforce Development Department, along with our 2024 Paddy Rossbach YEP Youth Camp. Again, Youth Camp will be facilitated down in Rockport, Texas, July 15th through 19th. Registration is on our AC webpage. Scroll down, you'll see the Youth Engagement Program YEP tab. And you can access camp registration that way. I just want to check in with Jordan. Did we have any questions in the chat?
No questions.
Okay. Well, we appreciate everyone taking the time to join us this evening. Again, myself, Jordan, and Trinea really thank you all for taking the time to spend a little bit of time with us this evening, exploring again our youth engagement program and workforce development department. So we thank you, wish you all well, and look forward to connecting with you all in the future.